Hey y'all, welcome back or welcome to the Honestly Truly podcast hosted by me, Tylar Cimone, and today it's been an interesting day. Alright, I'm gonna let y'all know off rip. The podcast got deleted. I was about 70% done with this episode and my camera said, I'm turning off, I'm going to sleep. Don't know what happened, but when I got it to turn back on, this whole episode that I just spent this time recording was deleted. But I said, you know what? I can do it again. It's going to be a little different, but I can do it again. And so here we are. Okay? So be patient with me. I'm coming back out of it because that's irritating when you've done it and then it just messes up. So hopefully it doesn't do it again. If it does it again, I can't say that I'm going to record it again. Can't say it. Maybe not today. Maybe tomorrow. But hopefully, prayerfully, it'll just continue to work on. So let's just go ahead and get into it and make this episode great again. Okay? So let me tell you what I told you the last time. Okay. So one. I've got a lot of things going on. I've realized that Sunday is just the best day for me to get my recording done. So here we are on a Sunday recording. Then also, I always meal prep on Sundays. I'm currently doing that now, so the food is cooking. Really, it's just I got some red beans that are cooking down right now, so those can be left alone. So I've got those cooking right now. And then also, another iron in the fire is I need to do my hair. It's dirty. It's cute and all, but it's dirty. And so I need to wash my hair today. But you know how wash day goes. It's not even a regular wash day. I got to take this down first and then wash. And it's going to be a whole problem. It's going to take a long time, all the things. It's going to be great. My hair will be clean after, but I know myself and I know that when I finish, I'm not going to want to record anybody's podcast. I'm not going to want to do it. So I thought, let me just come and sit down and do this. And as you see, I'm giving you a sporty vibe today. That's because I went on a walk a little bit ago. And I was like, before I go and get in the shower and wash this hair and do all the things, let's sit down and record a quick little podcast for the people. Let me sit and talk with you guys. So I hope that I'm able to do this and it will work this time because we got things to do. Amen. Okay. I know y'all got things to do too. So I'll make this snappy, but you're dying to know, what am I drinking? Let me let the people hear first. And if you're listening, come on over to the YouTube so you can see my cute little cup that I'm showing the people right now. I'm just drinking water today. Like I said, I just worked out. It was nice. A little walk, nothing crazy. I just wanted to really break in my shoes. I got some new tennis shoes yesterday, and I've been wanting to get these for a while. I went to this place called Fleet Feet. Am I saying it right? Fleet Feet. Where basically like they do like a full scan of your feet, the way that you walk, like the sizing of your foot, how narrow it is. Like I have narrow feet, so like stuff like that. And they use that information to help pick a shoe that best fits what you're looking for in terms of walking, running, whatever exercising that you're going to be doing. And so I ended up with two different shoes to choose from, and I chose these New Balances that I got. They're like what are they called? New Balances 1080 something. Anyways, I like them a lot. So far I wore them today and I went on a little walk and it was great. So that's why I'm in my sporty, athletic vibe. Okay. But anywho, let's get into the song of the week. Really, it's an album of the week because this album I'm about to talk to y'all about, I have ran it into the ground. The streams on this album have to be astronomically high, and it's all me. Like it's just me. And so this album is called Bird's Eye by Lenae. It is so good. It came out maybe like a week or so ago. And if you have not heard of her, definitely go check out all of her music. I love it all. But this album is really, really, really good. So make sure you listen to it top to bottom, song 1 to song, I think there's 12 songs or 11 songs on there. Listen to it in the way that she intended. I say this to you guys all the time. When you're listening to an album, don't just shuffle an album on the first listen. Listen to it from top to bottom and see how the artist intended it for you to be listened to, for it to be listened to. And so the album is just really, really, really great. My favorite song on there is called Days. It's the very last song on the album. It's so good. It just feels good. It's a good song to put on in the car. You can really feel something. It's just a good song. It's so like I love it so much that like literally I just put it on replay. So like it just plays over and over and over and over again. So if the strings are really high on that song specifically, it's me. I'm doing it. Okay, I'm the one selling the records. Okay, it's me. But it's a really, really good album. So if you're looking for new music, and you're not sure where to start, definitely go check out this album. It's really great. She's not necessarily a new artist, but she may be new to you. So go check her out. Go listen to all of her music. There's a lot of great stuff in there. A lot of great songs. There's another song I really like called Skin Tight. And I think Steve Lacy features on that one. Really, really good. Love it. Go listen to her previous album. Banger. Back-to-back albums that were both very, very good. So definitely go and check her out. But that is definitely my album of the week. I literally am going to listen to it today when I finish this episode. Like, it's just so good. But let's go ahead and get into our topic. it is based on a video that I found a year ago. So this episode, I have been thinking about this topic for like a year. Well, I haven't been like thinking about the specific thing, but I knew about this topic a year ago because I like watching these videos, the little roundtable videos that the Hollywood Reporter does with different actors and stuff like that. And different, I think they do actors, I think comedians, I think a whole bunch of different people in entertainment. They do roundtables with a group of them, and they like, it's just really interesting to see like their experiences in the entertainment space, the things that they've learned, how they've grown. I just kind of found it interesting, so I watch a lot of those. But a year ago, I watched the Comedy Actors Roundtable with a whole bunch of people that you've probably heard of, but including Tyler James Williams. I'm a big fan of his. If you have not heard of him, he was on Everybody Hates Chris a long time ago. He currently plays Gregory on Abbott Elementary. Like, he's a big deal. And so I was watching what he was saying on everybody said amazing things, but something that he said really stuck out to me. And so I took a little snippet of the video to put in here to show you guys, and then we can kind of unpack it together. Okay, so I'm gonna just go ahead and play it right now.
And I think also like a big part of it is, do I even want to do the thing that I think I want to do? I think I went through that period of time for like 10 years of like, am I just chasing this just because I feel like this is where I'm supposed to go, or because I'm trying to prove somebody wrong, or am I trying to prove myself right? And once I got to proving myself right, that's when I started doing things for me that I just wanted to do. I think everyone at this table has to sit and grapple with like, is this going to be well received at some point? But if you don't get to the fuck it, I do what I want, eventually you burn out.
Okay, so a couple things stood out to me in this video. Firstly, the fact that he said it took him 10 years. He went through a 10-year period where he wasn't really sure if acting or whatever fill in the blank thing there was for him and if he was doing it for the right reasons. So it made me think like, okay, one, don't be so hard on yourself. Some things, when you're trying to figure out specific things in your life, whether it's career, relationships, whatever, some things are not going to be a quick turnaround of you figuring it out just super fast. It's not going to be like, I'm going to spend the next 3 months really going into this time of the season and of real deep thought and just figuring out what I'm going to do. And then when the 3 months ends, you're like, I got it all down. Sometimes that's going to happen. Most of the time, it may not. And so I'm not saying that's going to take you 10 years to come to certain conclusions, but it might take you a little bit longer for you to get that understanding. And I think that a large part of it, and I'm sure maybe he would second this, is more just about letting life's journey take you to those things. Like, not saying that he just was passively here and then all of a sudden it just worked out and he just knew that he was doing the right thing. There was intentionality behind it. But I will say that I think that him just probably going through different experiences of life and in his work and the other things that he's doing brought him to the point where he was looking back over that past 10 years and being like, you know what? Now I know for sure that this is the right place for me. This is what I'm supposed to be doing, and I can say that confidently. And so I think that's what it said to me. It was just like, hey, first of all, like I said, he is like 32 now. I guess he was probably 31 when he made this, and so that means he spent a large portion of his 20s in that space of not really knowing what was right. And so I think that could be very challenging. I think that's something that a lot of 20-somethings face is doing the things. You're living your life. You're walking out whatever you're walking out, but not being really sure if it's right, not being really sure if this is the right thing for you. And so he made another point about saying like, okay, one, is this even right for me? Am I doing this for the right reasons? But also, am I doing it because I want to prove people wrong? I said, ugh, because it made me think back about to the previous episode that I made last week, talking about validation, us wanting the thumbs up from people. And I was more speaking about getting that thumbs up from people in general, but more like from people that you love who may not still understand it. But also, in his example, I wonder, like, the way I took it was, he was like, am I trying to prove people wrong as in like the world? Like everybody knows who he is. We're all paying attention to him. Maybe he was thinking about it that way. I'm not sure. But it makes me think about some of the things that I'm doing, kind of like I talked about last week. Some of the things that you're doing, whether it be a career choice or not, you're not going to get everybody in the whole world saying like, yes, because I think that a large part of why a lot of us think that way is because of social media, because it's like, we share our pictures, we share our life, we share different businesses we're starting or different things that we're doing. We share it out there and then we're like, okay, it needs to get this many likes. Did it get this amount of engagement, the comments, the followers off of the video? Did it get, like, there's certain milestones that we have in our head or certain expectations that we set in terms of the response that we are looking to get from people to make us feel good about what we're doing. And that's just that's an environment that is created with social media and other things that we do, but it's not really accurate when it comes to making real decisions about your real life. Like outside of social media, when you lock your phone and the whole world goes quiet, what kind of decisions are you making, and are you doing that for you, or are you doing it for other people? And that made me think. It was like a whole, like a vomit of thoughts. But that made me think of something that I've heard about years and years ago that kind of stuck with me in terms of when thinking about perception of people and wanting them to like what you're doing and wanting to be perceived in a way that makes you look good. It made me think about Pastor Jerry Flowers. If you haven't heard of him, look him up. He's pretty great. And so I think there was like a portion of a clip I saw on YouTube or something years ago that has stuck with me for a long time. And I don't know what the full sermon was about because I didn't watch the whole thing, but the clip was like more about perception, and he was describing a scenario. He had people on the stage with him, and he had a scenario where I guess this group of people didn't really agree with what he was doing. So he spent his time going from person to person to person, changing their mind and getting them to agree with what he was doing and getting them to like him, right? So he did that person 1, person 2, person 3, so on, so forth, and then he was feeling really good. He's thinking he's making progress. People are liking him. He's changing people's minds about him. People are going to agree with what he's doing. Then he turns around, and the first person that you changed your mind to and that you thought that they were on your team now they change their mind again. And now they don't like you again. You know what I'm saying? And that's just, people are fickle in that way. People are not going to always like you. People are going to say that they like you, and then they're going to not. And people's perception of you is going to change based on 1,000,001 things that you do or don't do. And that's what it is, especially when sharing your life and sharing things on social media. Some people may like post A that you make, but post B you make next week, now I don't like you, now I'm not a fan. That's just, you've seen that happen so many times with people being canceled and things happening of that nature. That can happen. And so it's just like, when you're making life decisions, you're making decisions about your career and what you're going to do, and if it's right for you, you can't make that based on what other people are talking about. It's never going to work when you're doing that for that reason. And he talked about how he understood now, like, it's not so much about proving myself and proving others wrong. I can't make my decisions based on that, but now it's about proving myself right. And I was like, exactly, Tyler, name twin. We're seeing each other right now. Like, proving myself right, doing what I want to do, thinking about the life that I want to have, the person that I want to be, and doing things that are aligned with that trajectory. Like doing things that make sense for that life that I'm trying to build, not so much of the life that other people say that they want me to have, or what I feel like I'm being fed or led to do. That has nothing really to do with what I actually feel. And so I think that I'm sure that you guys have felt that way one time or another, where you finally get to that point where you kind of know in your spirit and your soul, this feels wrong and this feels right. I want to try this way. But a part of you is just like, but I could be wrong. Like, I could be wrong. I don't want to explore that. So I think that it's important for us to take some time, and when we're making decisions, and like I said, he's talking about career, so I'll stay here with that. When we're making decisions about those things, to take a little bit of time and really identify, like, separate your thoughts out and figure out what things came from outward world that doesn't really support what I want and who I am, and what things came from me or came from God or whatever source you find that helps you to feel more like yourself. What things support that, and how can I inch closer to that lifestyle, because that's what I actually want. And that's how you're going to get into what he was saying of proving yourself right and doing what you want to do. Because he was saying, like, towards the end of the video, he was saying, like, oh, I got to a certain point where, like, yeah, you're trying to do these things, trying to figure things out, but when you start doing what you want to do, that's when you start really making those forward movements. That's when everything starts to become more clear. And that's what he was saying at the end. He was like, because when you don't do that, when you go against what you know is right for you, when you go against those things, then you end up burnt out. When you're doing things for other people, when you're doing things out of the wrong motives or the wrong reasonings, that's when you end up doing something that's just not good for you. You end up pulling yourself in a direction that's away from the life that you want. And so those are things that I felt like I understood the most from the video. But I would love to hear what you guys think. Please put it in the comments and share with me anything that you pulled out from that. I'm going to link the entire video below for y'all to be able to look at as well, and just kind of see there might be more to it that y'all want to learn about. But those are the main things that I thought. So one, giving yourself time to be able to explore the kind of job or the kind of career, the kind of life that you want to have. that might take longer than a 3-month period. It may take longer than 6 months. It may take longer than a year. It might take a long time for you to really feel confident in what you're doing. And I think that it's important that as long as we're moving towards those things that we want to do, as long as we're trying to figure it out, that's what's more important than feeling like you have to have it all the way done by a certain time frame. That's going to stress you out, and it's going to put unnecessary pressure on you. So that's the first thing I learned from it. And then, like I said before, doing things to prove yourself right, doing things that are aligned with the kind of life and the kind of person that you say that you want to be, not so much doing things to prove other people wrong and show them that you are that great and you are that good of a person and you are making good decisions and you are on the right path. They don't care because they have their own life and their own things that they're questioning themselves about. And we have to keep that in mind too. When we get so involved with what we think people are thinking about us, we have to remind ourselves that it doesn't matter. They don't care. They may think that they care, but they really don't, because they have their own life that they're dealing with. They have their own problems that they're struggling with, and that is more important to them than you are. Not saying that you're not important, you are, but when we're analyzing how much weight to put on the opinions and thoughts of others, we have to keep that in mind too. Your opinion about yourself is what's most important. Your opinion about you, because you have to live with you all the time. You don't have to live with the people on social media. You gotta live with you. And so when it comes to making big life decisions, we have to keep that in the forefront of our mind. What kind of life, what kind of person do you want to be, and what things are you doing to get you closer to that? And if you're not doing anything to get yourself closer to that, you need to stop, step back, and reevaluate so that you can get back on track to getting towards the life you want to get. Even if you're not there today or tomorrow or next month or next year, you're making strides towards your direction of what you think is right for you. And if it's wrong, it's okay. You're going to figure it out. It's a process. It's not something that's going to happen in 5 seconds. And so with that, I'm leaving it. And y'all, the camera is still on. Thank you, Jesus. Woo! Thank you, Lord. But anyways, we made it through. I hope you guys enjoyed that little snippet. I just wanted to quickly share a little bit about it. But like I said, I will link it below so y'all can watch the whole video and just kind of see what else you learned from it. I would love to hear more. Have a little discussion in the comments. Put it down there. Let's talk about it. But with that, I can smell my food starting to get together. I need to get over there and stir and get my life in order. So I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate the support that I have received lately. Thank you. I really appreciate it. And that's it. I love you guys. Bye.